Oh, there it is. Now. All right. There it is. Now we're all good. There we go. Full.
All right, I am here with fellow stand-up comedian, Taekwondo specialist, 52-year-old 5th-degree black belt, and owner of Taekwondo, the head master of Kwan Taekwondo.
There we go.
There we go. And
Thank
we
you.
just started the show for what feels like the 52nd goddamn time.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, that's pretty much what it
Jesus
is. Like,
Christ.
it took forever to get on here.
Man.
It's like unbelievable.
You know,
but hey,
maybe people here on Instagram Live. I don't know. I'm just sitting here looking at my phone.
Hey, but you look at the Instagram Live and the YouTube is just now working with it and stuff like that. So, yeah, no, it's it's an honor to be here again.
Dude, I'm so happy to see you, man.
You too,
Always.
man. Always a pleasure. It's like our third show together.
Yeah,
stuff like that.
That's right.
Yeah, it's been a long time coming. You know, we met doing comedy
Yes,
long
we
ago. Open mics and did
Greenwich
shows
Village
together.
Comedy Club, right?
Yeah, we met at Greenwich, and then I think we did. You came out and did a show at Scotty's, right? Because
I did.
Yeah, so that's how I think we initially met at an open mic night, right? At one time,
Okay.
and then also Greenwich too. And then
I remember Greenwich.
Greenwich we did do together. Yeah, that was our official one show together with Evan Weiss, and we
Yeah.
did it with him. And then just our friendship grew over the years and stuff, and we've been kept in contact. And
Oh
everything,
yeah,
so.
man, for sure.
Yeah, so it's good stuff.
Yeah, how have you been though, man? I haven't
Doing
seen you
really
in a little
good, man. I mean, it's been a changeover from the comedy scene from like 2018 and 19 when COVID hit, and then now I got the call in 2020 to take over as the headmaster of my Taekwondo school, Kwan Taekwondo. It was actually Sundo Kwan at the
Okay.
time. They asked me to be the third guy in 40 years to run the show, and then it's been
Wow.
I can't be more humbled and honored to do it at this time. And then, like I said, this is my home court. I mean, this is where
Yeah.
I grew up in.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, you
so
mentioned that.
that's just off the charts. I mean, like I said, I started Taekwondo before the interruption happened in 1986. I was a freshman in high school.
Okay.
I walked into Cho's Taekwondo, which is Grandmaster Cho is my grandmaster. And then all I wanted to do was become a black belt. And I was the last in the 80s to get it. And it's like the Karate Kid era. Yeah, that was ending. And,
He ended off the Karate Kid era. It
The
was this
Karate
man
Kid
right
era.
here.
And it's amazing how it comes back now with Cobra Kai. Cobra Kai helps me with my school because the way I teach and the way my passion is and the way I do stuff with my students is like Cobra Kai. And then I got hurt in '92, and I an ACL popped during a football game, and then I never thought I'd return, but it took about 12 years to return in 2004 because I was so close to getting my second degree. And I just wanted to come back and get it, and I got it. And it's amazing how the knee surgeon I had was really good, and I was able to take it to another level, being older, stronger, faster. And then between my 30s and early 40s, I was just like taking over control of the school, and I became one of the best students there. And then I was the second in command there, and I led the black belt class. And then I left for a little while, still trained, and then COVID hit, and they just got the call and say, I said, well, maybe it's time for me to come back to teach. And they go, no, we have something else in mind for you, and we want you to run the school. And I was like, wow, I just can't even imagine
amazing,
doing
man.
it. Yeah, it's awesome stuff here,
Yeah,
man.
100%. You
Yeah,
did
so-
mention, I do want to go into when you left a little bit because I believe I probably met you like during that gap when you left a little bit.
I was not teaching when I met you. Yeah, I was not because that was from I started doing comedy around 2015, and I was done teaching around that time because I was working a lot, bartending, my other work, finance work, and then I just literally couldn't go teach for an hour. Just like drive all the way from Morristown to Ledgewood to teach for. I said, next time also when I come back, I'm going to do it for me. And then,
100%.
And it just kind of went into that scale, and I took over, and I helped bring back from the old students about 40 students. So I'm sitting at close to 80 and change, 85 and change right now.
That's
so
a
I
lot,
added
man.
in the past 2 years about another 45 students, and that's with like give or take. I joke around with some people I know. I said I'm like Seinfeld. How he goes,
boy.
what do you mean when he goes? I always, like it's okay. I break even. So I have one student leave, I get 2, I come back. So I mean, my goal is to hit 100 mark by the end of the year, and I'll get there, but keep promoting and doing shows like this with you and people that are up in the Roxbury, Mount Olive area, Morris County. If you have friends in the area, we're right on Route 46 in Kenville, New Jersey.
Okay, so you're way up north.
Way up north, yeah.
Oh,
so,
all right.
Yeah, we're up there, and it's been a great. Like I said, I teach 5-year-olds all the way up to 52, and I have actually a great. Every generation I have a student with, like from 5 to 10 range to 20 to 20. I finally got my 20s guys, and then I got the 30s and then 40s, and then the 52-year-old is one of my best friends and my best man, 3rd degree black belt Bill. Yeah, so
we're just leaving the 60, 70-year-olds after that. We're just leaving them out to dry.
And no, it's just not out to dry. So they're not gonna try to take a chance to come in here, but I do a women's self-defense class, and I actually have a few women in their late 50s coming in a couple weeks here from now. They're coming in, and I do that on a lighter scale, low kicking, no heavy stuff. Because what's funny is like when it comes to Taekwondo, I mean, it is a very athletic martial art. It's striking, jumping, kicking, but you can always, how I do is my style, I tweak it to the person. And but people always get afraid. I have friends that are like, oh, I can't do that. I just can't do it. I'm like, you just take it slow. I had a friend of mine that came in. He goes, oh, dude, I can handle it. No problem. Man, that guy came in, hit the bat. I said, take it easy, John. He's like, no. He's like, no, I got it. And I said, oh, I get a phone call. Bro, man, I can't make it.
He tried to flip the bag over, pulled a hammock.
He pulled a hamstring. He was out for it, and he's actually returning. I joke when some adults are not in class because they hurt themselves. It's like injured reserve. I say I got a few students on the IR and stuff like that.
Yeah, so. Listen, an adult could move their hip the wrong way, and somehow their back is just completely gone.
Yeah, I mean, that's why it takes that whole thing. You have to do a certain way, and just like you have to take it slow and grow, and that's what I kind of do with the adults here, and it's been a real success because the other instructor didn't do adults. He just said, look, I'm sticking to the kids. I don't want to teach the adults. I taught the because I was gone. So I was the one teaching the adults in the advanced class and everything else. So the hardcore teaching, the kind of like the crease drill sergeant type of teaching.
Right.
And by taking over as a head guy, I had a change up.
Oh,
where, because I'm tall.
Because you probably had to teach some of the younger kids after
back then I didn't because they were afraid because I was so hardcore that I didn't want to scare the kids out of school.
Right.
So they said what you should do is, so what the comedy side, now we're talking to the comedy, helped me out with teaching the kids because I would make a joke or I'd make a humorous thing and then to help lighten their smiles, and then I can go more into the intense side of it. So I think where it's worked out, and a lot of parents didn't realize their master was an ex-stand-up comedian.
Yeah, right.
Well, I won't say ex. I'm back. I'm getting back on the scene. I came back on the scene last year for one show, but my schedule I can't do consistently. But the fact that I have the school, I talked about the school, the kids, the adults. Like I said, teaching Taekwondo to adults, as we were talking about. It's like, you remember the game Rock'em Sock'em?
Oh, Jesus.
You're like,
you remember?
That's the adults in the beginning of doing Taekwondo.
You remember the Sock'em Boppers? That little toy from like 2001?
I don't know about the Sock'em Bopper. I remember Rock'em Sock'em when I was young, where he would pop the head with the
yeah, you just take like it's like this little like blow up thing. You just put it on the fist. You just pop somebody in the head.
Oh no, this is different. This was a game. Yeah, it's like robots. Yeah,
false alarm.
But the process with that, no, it's been a great honor and experience, and I can't tell you when you say you're on to make a difference. And that's where I feel every day walking into that school and making myself better. I lead by example. Like I've overcame. We were talking in the office about how I overcame with a hip injury where I had my hip pop out of my socket in 19, and I took over to school with a bum hip because it would not heal. So the kicks were coming, but I realized that I have to be like Belichick, not Brady. And meaning like Belichick doesn't run the plays. Belichick doesn't do the stuff. He just has the knowledge and the ability to share it and mechanics, And then, so I was able to still teach the mechanics, but then I saw a chiropractor and he helped straighten me out. I'm knock on wood, 100% right now. So it's good stuff.
Now you're
I'm really
doing the
excited.
kicks again too?
Oh, man, I'm coming up off the left side. Good. I'm spinning better.
Nice.
Like, I mean, it's good to be back on that side of it. You know, still one more work, but the splits are coming down again. Like the hamstrings are stretching. But
That's the one thing I can never get down, those damn splits.
But yeah, I mean, but it's so funny. I had a little girl, 5-year-old, that was in the class with her brother takes my class, and she's sitting there with a full split watching her tablet, watching Netflix and Paw Patrol while she looks at the other guys trying to do their splits, and she's just sitting there. She's just like that flexible 5-year-old girl.
Well, she looks at the person next to her, just feet shoulder width apart. That's as far as he could go.
Yeah, it's fine. But being able to get flexible at this age, and actually being older, this helps me out, like, for long term. I'm down, like I was telling you before, like I dropped my wedding weight at 235 in September, which was awesome. It was a great day, and then we'll talk about that.
I thought he was trying to get down to his wedding weight.
Yeah, it was different. Yeah, I got married and dropped the weight. You know, so I it was a joke like wedding stress or marriage stress.
Oh my God.
Nah.
Yeah.
It was it's been a great experience with that, and we'll talk about that soon too. But like it was just like it just to get the blood work better, and and just be here. The goal is to be here for the next 40 years. Is knock on what I can, So do the best I can to keep that and go from there. And so it's been like I said, it's been awesome. And to be able to do stuff at 52, the average 52 guy doesn't be able to do is really an awesome thing.
I mean, the average person can't do a split.
Well, I'm not full split on yet. I mean, like I'm getting down, but like the fact that we did, but that it's like here. But I remember I just came off the hip, so it's just, but just the fact that just even at an older age, our legs don't work like 6 and 8-year-olds.
His goal in the beginning, just like how he was starting with 1-degree black belt, feet were shoulder width apart. That was the first
exactly. Goal. Well, my split was better when I was a first grade 18, but
then you know what? You keep going down, you go down, you go down. Then all of a sudden you're at 2 shoulder width apart.
Just 2 shoulder apart. But yeah, it's been great stuff. And then like I said, and we can talk about comedy with it next. Is like coming back on the scene. We're gonna be doing a show, I think probably in June. We're at the Eagles Club that
Eagles, right?
Yeah, you told me about.
Oh yeah.
I probably appreciate the plug.
I didn't just mention it. You put me on that show.
Yeah, I know.
No, that was a fun show. I didn't leave that show for
Eagles
about
Club
4
shows
hours.
are always so much fun. It's just I
didn't leave till a friend of mine got us kicked out.
Yeah, I remember that day. Yeah, we were able to work it with that, and then but with the new material, talk about being married now. Great stuff with that, and then also like teaching Taekwondo too, like being because I had to rewrite the act. I couldn't be dirty anymore. I mean. I had to I still can keep the bartending jokes and certain things, but there's certain things you can't say anymore just in case somebody's watching you. Like, I don't want that. It's not worth it to have me say something that's off the cuff and then some parent sees it and it's just like, that's not worth it. But I enjoy it. And I also make the parents laugh in the school when I just bring up these certain quips and, it's like crowd work. Yeah. But with kids and teenagers. That's the funny part, man.
No, I love it.
Yeah. So tell about yourself, man. What's been, I haven't seen you in a couple of years, so I know we've been doing this, and we did a couple Zoom shows, and like, are you doing swimming and stuff like that? You said, like, how'd you get into, when did you do that?
So I had a job at a radio station that was down by Atlantic City. I think you remember that.
Yes. You were trying to get me on that show all the time, you're two for.
Well, because that was the afternoon guy show. So
correct.
I was trying to get people to call in. I was trying to get interest in a show going.
Correct.
And I feel like I was doing that, but things ended up not working out for one reason or another. So Abby and I, we were going through a lot at the time. I was unemployed after that.
Okay.
Abby, had her thing at Robert Wood, which she still has. She's still at Robert Wood. And her boss, one of the partners that, runs the fitness and wellness centers, was like, we have lifeguard positions open.
Okay.
See if there's something he can do with that. And, I had to take, obviously, a test for it.
Correct.
Just to, get everything certified, make sure I was, good enough to pass and, have all this work out. So I take the test, which I maybe had about like 3-4 days to prepare for this. But it was just something I went for and, had a job after that, and then I found out how much you can make as a swim instructor, which, you know, I
Sharing
can't.
out. Now, were you ever a lifeguard at all, or no?
Before that, no.
I mean, you were never a lifeguard period in your life, or you had? Okay, gotcha.
No, never a swim kid, never a lifeguard. Could always swim.
Okay.
You know, was a half-decent swimmer. You know, could get across the pool.
It's kind of interesting, like, how you got a job with, like, not being, like, it depends upon the certification, like, some kind of, like, a different type of stuff. Like, people are lifeguards, or they're, like, what's it called, like, swim team type of.
After I got the lifeguard certification, I had to, you know.
Okay, so
learn
you
my
went through the
strokes.
certification.
Yeah, I had to learn my strokes
okay,
and
gotcha,
get the certification to teach.
Okay, gotcha.
So that was the next one. I got that October of 2021.
Okay.
And it actually took another couple months before I started getting lessons.
Nice. Yeah, I was a lifeguard back in the day, back in the high school days.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. We had to sit there, and you had to, what's it called? What's it? Like, it's not floating. It's the treading water.
Treading
you
water?
You had to tread
Oh,
water
boy.
for like minutes on minutes, and they say like, yeah, you got, like, kind of thing. So.
Oh, yeah. That's
Yeah.
why I could never be a beach lifeguard. Because apparently they have to do all that, like, in the ocean with, like,
That's
weights and
it.
everything.
Beach
Oh, my God.
lifeguarding is totally different than a pool.
Well, I
lifeguard.
know
We all
that. I'm just
like,
saying.
It's just like, those guys are going in at different facets, and
Yeah,
like,
totally different thing. But you'll never actually guess this, but I actually did Taekwondo when I was younger. It's
Oh,
something
really?
my dad put me in.
Nice. Well, a lot of parents do that. They take their kids and stick them in there. Okay, so how far did you go up?
I was maybe like one belt away from black, and then I wanted to hang out with friends.
That, ironically, I had a girl that got her black belt, 14, great. She didn't have too many friends in the class, though. So I think that's kind of where because it's all boys and just a girl. And even though they were teenagers and the guys would probably flock to her, but they weren't flocking to her. Not like she wasn't a bad-looking girl, but like they just it wasn't that kind of genre. They're 13, 14. They were doing a guys thing, and then she said,
She was just kind of by herself.
by herself. The only friend she had was me, and like, look, I'm the instructor. It's not being a friend other than that, just other than teaching her. And so she actually left because of I want to hang out with my friend stuff. And I was like, and like I always say, like, look, the door's open, you can return. But she's going into high school where this is the stuff you need. You just can't. And what things about self-defense that people have to understand is that it's all about repetition and about consistency. You can say, well, I learned to move when I was in college. It doesn't happen, when you get attacked. You're not consistently working on a move or somebody where you're doing a blocking where somebody's trying to punch you on a consistently weekly basis. And learning the moves, and then I don't care what anyone says.
When you start doing something, and you rep it and you rep it and you rep it, that's when it becomes second nature.
Yeah,
It's not going to become second nature. If somebody just attacks you and you did it one time.
Yeah, like my wife is funny. She's like, they were all drunk one night, her and her friend, like, it's all about like grabbing the balls and you hit the throne and like this. I'm like, this is all crap, man. Like, you guys aren't gonna remember it if I attack you right now. Like, and joking around, like I can act like a serial guy, like, oh shit, then like, oh my god, they're like, it doesn't work that way. I mean, it's about consistency and practicing those moves and having that situation. Now, you can't go too far with a situation teaching self-defense within a certain realm, except that movie Enough, where the guy's choking a girl, like Jennifer Lopez, where he's making that because she had a purpose. But it was a little bit different for that. But you can't do it on it was like that movie was a side thing on a street, meaning like open up a store and teach people how to get out of a chokehold where they're like you're choking them on the floor. It doesn't work like that.
Like here, you'll figure this out eventually.
Like figure it out right now. I mean, it doesn't work. Yeah, it doesn't work. Yeah. So, but no, I mean, you get all the way to.
It's just like throwing a kid into the deep end and seeing what happens.
Yeah, see what happens. Yeah. Meanwhile, you're like, oh well.
Oh wait, he's actually panicking.
And he's going to drown. Yeah.
Yeah. No, we should go figure this out.
No, but I mean, you got all the way close to black. I mean, it's just that you should like make that a goal, like to get back and get it because it's an accomplishment.
Is this me or the 14-year-old?
You.
Okay.
Yeah. The 14-year-old, she ever returns, she returns. I mean,
yeah. No, I've definitely thought about it, but it's
you have to find the right spot too.
It's also the same thing, as far as comedy goes. Like for you, like the schedule. And it would be me figuring that out.
Yeah, exactly. But it could be. I mean, long term, it's like where you do it 5 years from now.
I've definitely thought about it long term.
You should do it long term, where because it's an accomplishment.
Right.
It's a journey that you can reach, and it's something you can always have that because you fell short only because of a mistake you did at 14, which is a kid mistake. It is what it is.
Yeah.
But that's the deal.
Yeah, no, 100%. Definitely something I've thought about for sure. But
Yeah.
I have another question for
Okay.
you that, we actually haven't done yet.
Okay.
So what is one thing you learned about MMA that you do every day?
All right, hold on one second. The wife's giving me a text.
You got questions?
No, she's like, call me when you're in the car. I'm still on the show. All right,
I don't know. I thought she was giving you shit for making that grab it by the balls comment.
she's not watching. Sorry. And I don't care if I did.
Sounds about right.
That's probably right. Yeah. All right, so the question was, what do I learn from MMA that I use?
That you do every day.
That I do every day. Well, see, mixed martial arts that I've done on a scale like, I would say my style of fighting is geared towards the traditional Taekwondo, but it's mixed with Jeet Kune Do, which is Bruce Lee style. Okay. So I mix my short hits, angles. It's all about angles.
Right.
Hitting from either from Hopkins. So we do what MMA is what they do and we do is like more self-defense where you take the wrists and wrist grabs, throat grabs, chains and throws and everything else. So I do Hopkido as a mix of what MMA would probably do. Okay. And then I learned some Sambo, which is like Russian grappling, and then the guillotines and the what do you call it, the figure four like chokes, like the arm locks and everything else.
So it's a mix of short strikes and grappling, basically.
For my style of like Taekwondo, it's more of a short strikes, in tight grabs, and also distance. But like, because a lot of Taekwondo, they say is like it's about distance, and it is. But what I like to teach is that I like when you get in short.
Yeah.
That's where my style comes into play because of it's in tight. I mean, kicks down, low flexibility, hit to the knee shot.
So if this were boxing, let me bring a boxing reference. It would kind of be like infighting a little bit.
In tight, yeah. I mean, that's where it's what reality of like fighting is like in tight fighting. Yeah. And where I teach my students is like people have a problem with personal space. Like where people get like the close talker, everybody gets freaked out.
Oh yeah.
Well, when you're fighting somebody in the sparring, let's go on the tournament sparring side of it, where I'm teaching the kids how to fight internally, not the self-defense side, but in terms of like tight. I teach them to get the point when you strike. So you go and go and go until you get it. Now, what happens when kids get too tight, I don't care who they are, any Taekwondo school I've ever seen or karate, whatever, kids panic. That's why they all split and go back to do the kicks again. I teach them where once they get in that close, now you got the juice to do what you got to do, where you can slap the hand away, the leg can hit the head, everything in tight, pop off, hits, real strike there, or just reverse punch them and get the point. And then fighting in close for self-defense, of course, in tight, throat shots, hit shots, eye shots, ear shots, everything that we can do.
So I'm just curious. This conversation has got me thinking, because there's a lot of guys who are famous for outfighting. Most notably probably Muhammad Ali.
Well, that's boxing for him. He was boxing a different style. Like Tyson was in tight. He got me in tight.
A lot of the shorter guys are in tight.
Yeah, the shorter guys are in tight. I mean, for boxing side of it, from how I kind of teach some boxing, but the knowledge of, I won't say that I'm an expert in boxing because that's a difference. Didn't get in the ring and box that way. That was not our style. But in terms of, I add boxing in terms of the blocking side of it for what we do. But Muhammad Ali was just fast. And he would jab and move, and he was amazing, and that's why he was probably one of the greatest of all time for what he did. I mean, Rocky, my grandfather was a 1930s depression boxer.
Oh yeah,
yeah, dude. Oh, he was a tough man.
That's cool.
He was one of the best grandpas ever because he was such a nice man. I only crossed him once, and I was like 10 years old, and not cross him where he's going to beat me up, but he could easily. And I always tell this story to my students because he would hit you in the top of the shoulder with his knuckle. And my sisters who are watching this know about our grandfather.
So you can't throw the punches.
So yeah, so your arm would. So he said, as boxers, Rocky Marciano would hit the guys in the arms, so they would dead arm.
Oh yeah.
So when you go dead arm, you can't lift your arms to the
defense.
So
God,
now you're done.
A guy like Rocky Marciano too? Oh no.
This is hitting brutal.
That's over.
It's brutal.
Guys,
so my grandfather used to hit me
49-0 for nothing.
Yeah, no, right, exactly. So he would hit that the way, right? And then it took to my grandfather turning a red belt in Taekwondo at 17 range, 16, 17, and him, to me, able to block this man without a hiccup. Right. And he was like 68 years old.
Oh, I believe it.
So but that was but we grew up with that kind of thing. And he was such a great grandpa. He would take us to Tasty Cakes, like you brought in your crimpets today. He would bring that. He would take us places and stuff. And having him, he would do the parks, the beach. I mean, everything you want as a kid as a grandfather. I told him at his funeral, the eulogy, that he had the blueprint for being a grandfather. And then kind of take that with my nephews and the kids I teach, and then my kids hopefully in the future. But it's just that the kind with stern little blend kind of deal. It's like it's always got to be a blend with a parent and background. Yeah, so
got to be a blend with any parent, any teacher. Always.
It's got to be a nice blend. I mean, you can't have one way or the other way to make it work. And
speaking of a blend, because you started off teaching the adults, you mentioned that earlier.
Yes.
So what I feel like for me is I need a good mix. I don't teach a lot of adults. I've maybe taught a handful.
Okay.
But most adults aren't learning how to swim. So, but I like a good mix. Me personally, I need a good mix of younger kids and I need a good mix of older kids.
Yeah, so that's like the teenage. I mean, that's all depends on how with this swimming, what kids need to learn. I mean, I think everybody needs to learn how to swim, so they don't drown going into the ocean.
Kinda helps.
Yeah, I mean, just being able the confidence to go hang out in the pool in the deep end, or going off a diving board, or just going in the ocean alone without having to worry about being pulled away, or just a simple going out too far and dropping down. You just can't get back in. And it's a necessity of life that we need to learn. Yeah, 100%. But I mean, to teach the kids, I think it's a personality thing. I mean, you're young, like 28 now, you said on the past side. Yeah, so 28, it's about mixing up. One thing I've learned is about, I mean, here's the thing, it's the humor side of it. Also with the stern side of just knowing what you're doing. If you know what you're doing and you know it's right, you just have to tell them, this is the way.
This is the way to do it, yeah.
It's kind of like the Mandalorian. This is the way.
This is the way.
This is the way. The way to teach, I found teaching kids, I think the way it was like you just dive in the deep end and you go for it. Yeah. You share your knowledge and you share the way to make it work. And then I think the humor side of it for me made it happen teaching the younger kids, because I definitely had with the videos and the pictures and then everything, because some of these kids never knew me. So, they were saying, now they see the highlight reel. They're like, oh, it's okay. And then they see me do stuff in person. And even with a bum hip, I was able to do some stuff where they're like, oh my God, this guy, because my hand speed and there's even a kick speed off my good leg at the time. And then being older, and a lot of people didn't even realize I was like 49, 50 years old. They thought I was like 40 or 38, and you're what? But I think that with that is the humor side of it, bro. That I think that you blend it and make the kids laugh, but yet at the same time be stern with them and do teenagers. Hey, look, man, you want to drown or not?
Yeah,
really. If you fool around, that's my thing about what I do. I yelled at my students the other day, like fooling around. Like winners don't fool around.
No.
The time and place for everything. The elite students in this school do not fool around. If you want to be like this kid, Zalt, Tim, Yashil, Brentley, Gabriel, Jeremiah Riley, even the little girl. I mean, I'm actually doing a new promo video for my school. It's gonna be going to the DX song, the Degeneration X song.
Yeah.
Break it down. Yeah. Because I had the videos like bow to the masses.
Is it gonna be like breaking boards too?
Oh, all the kids are gonna be ripping. Every highlight thing that they've done, they got like it'd be more like like some weapons from me, but then it's more the way it's gonna blend is like one of me, then them. That's always it's like down the row. So it'll fit in perfectly. All of them and all excited to be a part of it because
I love it.
Especially with the black belt kids and stuff like that. They're all like I told them they made the cut and they're like, oh my God, So it's not a participation trophy video. You want to be part of this. It was the people that stepped up during the testing and leading in class and being a leader and showing their stuff and being like known. I said, tell us that you want to be known in your school, you have to work hard. I said, people knew about me when I was a brown belt because of all the hard work I did and how I used to fight and how I used to come down into the other schools. And they're like, oh, Pearsall's coming? Oh, jeez. So it's kind of cool. I mean, I heard the story years later. I didn't know as it was happening.
You didn't know it?
No, I heard it later. Like, oh yeah, people were like worried.
They
about
probably
it.
just didn't want to tell you that.
They didn't want to tell me at the time, like. But I mean, it's good to hear those things. I mean, I think it's also. Here's a great story, and it's a really humbling, honored thing.
I got to tell before you do that. I was just got to say it's good to hear it like years and years later.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, I totally agree with you. And like hearing things later that you didn't know at the time and it was a complimentary thing too. Yeah. And just another story here where one of the guy took over. His son was going for black, but he's a third degree now. But at the time, he was going for a black belt, and he asked his dad, "What is a definition of a black belt, Dad?" He goes, "Master Pearsall."
Wow.
I'm like, wow. So to hear that, I mean, it was very humbling and huge. Like I mean, I worked that to get to that, to be that, but to hear it in passing is a great thing. And then it just helped build up even to being all the parents talk about how I teach the kids and all the good reviews I've gotten and then how I go about it and like you're changing my child's life and then I can't even, John, it's just amazing. It's
that
good
is
stuff.
Amazing, man.
Good stuff, man. So that's it for that. And then like I said, we'll do some comedy and stuff like that. We'll get some stuff going here in the future here. I can't wait for that.
Yeah, man. No, I'm definitely excited for June, 100%. Whenever you decide to do Eagles.
Yeah, I'll let you know.
You said it's going to be on a Friday?
Definitely be on a Friday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because that's my day off. That's all that matters.
I can't. It's one of those things like we're getting back into the mix at least once a month kind of thing to do.
I hear that.
I think it's great. I especially work on some crowd work. Especially I do like crowd work almost every day at the school.
Going to the studio doing crowd work.
I do crowd work at the Taekwondo studio every day. Like I was joking like on where the kids come up and ask me, can they go to the bathroom? One of the parents that probably watched this knows this. She was sitting there watching. They come like, "Sir, can I go to the bathroom?" I'm like, "Al Bunny, no." Mm-hmm. And the kid sits there and and then go right from there. I'm like, "No, just go." I'm like, you don't have to. I had to tell him like, you don't have to ask to go to the bathroom before class. During class, you do.
Yeah.
Not after. Because during class, here's the thing about kids and teenagers. They ask to go to the bathroom during exercises because they don't want to do the exercise.
Oh, my God.
I know that.
I've had that happen so many times.
And like, "Sir, can I get?" "No." I said, "You better not pee on my floor."
Yeah, really.
I mean, 5-year-old, yes, you can go to the bathroom. I don't care. Like we're talking about like 12-year-olds. Like
there's time and a place. Hold it.
You can wait till after done. You can go. Like it's just like but don't. Got to factor with that. It's all about the kids, man. In terms of different ages, and to me, it's also. Everything has a different blend. Like my Tuesday class is funny because I start with the 5 to 7-year-olds and the shenanigans I get there, but it's a different joy because it's teaching these little things, And then I get the 8 to 11-year-olds that are just like different kind of blending it, but more crazy, but they're more understanding and learning. Then I get the higher belts that range from the 11 to 12, 9 to 12, 13 range, and then I got the adults. So it's great because I end at the adult class. I'm ready to rock. Let's go. Like, there's no shenanigans.
You've been waiting for all day.
Just ends the shenanigans. Like, "Yes, sir, sir." Like all that stuff. Like this all either whining or not whining or just like goofing around or whatever. There's no goofing around in adult class. We have fun, and the adults love how I teach because I use the blend of like the humor, the comedy side of it into it to make it like. I joked around and I told my one student, said, "Are you married?" He goes, "Yeah." I said, "Well, get married to the bag." He goes, "What do you mean?" I said, "Commit to the kick. Commit to the kick. Go all out. You've got married." So that was a deal. Like,
what I started explaining to my adult lessons, the few that I do have.
Oh, nice.
Whenever they kick on their back, they're looking up at the sky. You don't have to look at the water or anything like that. Because I had one lesson that was like, it's just like a blind date. You can't see shit.
Yeah,
I just started saying that to all of them.
That works. Yeah, if it works.
If you're ever scared of it, just treat it like a blind date. You can't see anything.
Yeah, exactly.
Just let it go.
Just let it be. Yeah, I mean it's good. So, how many students you teach now?
Probably around Same as you, the 80 mark. You know, because I teach 40 hours a week. So,
Okay, so yeah, I got you.
You know, that's 80 different slots you got to fill.
Yeah, exactly.
So
I mean, what's your schedule like with swimming? Do you just afternoons or early evenings? Or how is it working?
So Saturday, Sunday, weekends I do 9 to 5.
Okay, so it's a weekend thing. More,
Yeah, and then Monday to Thursday I'll go from 3 to 9. I'll go afternoons.
Oh, the afternoon ones. Okay, so
Because most of the kids, they're not going to be coming in because of school.
gotcha. So you're doing the comedy stuff. When you ever do on the stage, it's definitely probably the same thing I got. Like it's either Friday or Saturday night kind of thing.
Yeah, Friday, Saturday night for sure. All the shows I've done so far, they've all been on Fridays. I haven't done any Saturday or Sunday ones yet.
Nice.
I could.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah, I mean, so there's a time and place, like I said, for everything with that
Yeah.
one. Yeah, like your schedule, you need some rest too.
I don't see myself doing midnight shows at Grizzly Pear anytime soon. You know what I mean?
That, those shows are in the city, like taking a ride all the way into New York to do a show 11:30 at night.
Then I gotta wait for a 5 in the morning train to get
come
back home.
Yeah, no, forget it. Yeah.
My God, I can imagine doing that.
I mean, look, it's a love of you know, like I said, you have to sell out. You know, and we have a few comedian friends that are doing really well, and that do like No Filter Paul, who we'll be working with, is he's doing I remember, the comedy thing is like another network of friends that
Oh yeah,
I have been blessed to be a part of because.
Right.
Also, because I mean, we're around a lot of different comedians, and a lot of them are. You don't want to be friends with anyway. You know, like you know what I'm saying. Like, I mean, when I was doing,
you're not gonna be bringing them to the studio.
Yeah, like no, not the studio. Yeah, like, but I'm talking about like where we were coming. I wanted to be with people that wanted to do the work. You know, not talking dirty all the time, and then just coming with some ridiculous stuff and wasn't a professional and wouldn't show up for gigs and that kind of stuff when we were doing the shows at the time. So, but when I found like Paul. I knew there was something about him that he was good, where he wanted to be really good, and he was an older guy.
Yeah.
He's actually older than me, and then he's like just to be like a pro, and then Dave Hodge behind him, and then like other comedians we worked through the years and met. Just being a group of friends with everybody and seeing them out at shows and open mics, you know, there's a good respect factor with everything. Like how your buddy Chin knew who I was. I mean, I think I may have met him once or maybe not. I can't remember, but the fact he knew about me was actually pretty cool.
Was it Chino?
Yeah, the guy last week.
Oh yeah, that was Chino. Yeah,
Chino. Yeah. So he goes, "Oh yeah, I heard of him," and that means I've done something right in that facet. You know, like I mean, like where the promotions or being out on the Facebooks, you know, whatever it was at the time.
Probably how Eagles got brought up because he knew about you.
Yeah, I mean, well, then that you know that whole facet, man. Like, because remember we were talking about comedy in New Jersey. I remember watching you said about comedy in New Jersey.
Rob threw a fit because we didn't have any mango ice cream for him, Tracy. We ate it all.
Oh, dear.
I just wanted to let her know.
Oh, it's all good. Yeah, like the mango ice cream. But I heard it's pretty good, Trace. So
it was like a crunchy cannoli with the fruit roll-ups.
Fruit roll-ups. I haven't had fruit roll-ups since I was like 10.
That's what happened when 40-something-year-old women go on TikTok.
I guess so. I mean, if they gotten tons of followers from the fruit roll-ups. Hey, that's awesome. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, that's the next thing I do is TikTok. But then you always say like, well, they're gonna tap into your stuff and like,
you're not gonna put your school on TikTok.
I don't know. It's kind of like you know. It's more like, you know, where that's the thing, like we're tapping into that kind of thing. I mean, I think I have Instagram, obviously, and then you know the Facebook side of it, and then then Twitter maybe. But it's like I do so much stuff as it is. Yeah, they do the posting every day.
You're not thinking
Facebook.
about it.
They're Facebooked, and then I got to deal with the TikTok. I'm not gonna try and set up some. I mean, but they make money doing it, you know, thing. But I'm not gonna make money over. To promote my school is better with the Facebook because it's a local thing. You know, now
that makes sense.
Now, Kelly, my wife and I were talking about like me building my brand out more. You know, and that's aspect of where I come up with an app where you can learn Taekwondo on an app. Now, we all know, and this I'm a big fan. You cannot learn a martial art in your home at all. So the point to be able to learn something.
Swimmers love to take videos of each other. You learn by doing.
Yeah, I know, you learn by doing it. So, but you have to. I think that if you could have a workout with it and like kicks, you get a bag and start hitting it, just learning a little bit. I think that's a great idea. Just a basic kind of like format of self-defense training, like so like simple things, kicking,
Basic front kicks, basic punches.
basic punches. Get your bag going, hitting a bag. Say like, look, you need to buy this, and this equipment. Let's have it, and you can do a workout in your basement, and it could be really big with a lot of things, especially with people outside of my school area. So you're building it with the internet today. You can build it bigger. So we're working on that. We'll see where it's going to play out in the future here. Like I'm actually, like I said, I'm doing a promotional video for the school now, and then from there, I can think about this app thing and building out from there, and the YouTube presence. I already have my. If you go on YouTube, you can see a lot of stuff. Where we have it's you just type in Kwan, KWAN space TKD, and you'll find our logo there, and then you can see all my highlight reels and all this just stuff that we do for our school.
I like it.
And then building out that aspect with the YouTube presence and stuff like that. I like with this funny thing about YouTube is they always have the trolls. Oh, God, unbelievable. I mean, so I keep the comments off because there's kids in the videos. And myself, I had one guy one time.
You don't need people commenting.
I had one guy comment on a forum I did back when I had my other channel, and he's like, "Oh, it was mediocre." I'm like,
"Oh,
mediocre?
Your punch went 20 degrees too far to the left."
Mediocre, and I'm like, so I go find this guy's page. They're like, got nothing. If you're a 5th degree black belt, one of the top guys, Jean-Claude Van Damme said, you are this, and this, in terms of like your kick, it could be all right, I'll take your opinion on that one. You know what I'm saying? But to have some troll without nothing going on in his life, doing any martial art, and he had the comments to say this, so I keep the comments off. So
that's a keyboard warrior right there.
Unbelievable. Those people, I had one guy on Instagram make a comment. He was out of freaking Saudi Arabia, which is actually pretty cool that somebody from Saudi Arabia saw my reel on Instagram. Cool. Yeah, I had some people actually message me, a couple of Army guys that.
The fact that he bothered to message you from Saudi Arabia.
I take that any day of the week, but the fact of
if you're going to troll me, at least be from another country.
I think so. From Croatia and stuff like that. But I think it was like he made a comment on my orange belt. I'm like, oh, his hand was. I said, look, first off, I looked you up, and your style is different than ours. Number two, he's an orange belt. It's his 3rd belt. He's been doing this for under a year. You don't need to be. You don't need to hammer on the kid. I was like. It's ridiculous. I said, I'll follow your stuff and see, what you guys are doing, and to make a comment about something. But yeah, that's
normally when I get trolly comments, I just put a few laughing emojis and I just call it a day.
Yeah, you have to do that, especially with people that you have no idea who they are.
First time I had Tracy on was actually the first hate comment I got since I started streaming on YouTube.
Oh, really?
Just posted a few laughing emojis, went on with my day.
Yeah. I mean, I can only imagine what certain people have to say, especially they're watching your show. Why would you hammer home and stuff like that?
Oh, I got to tell you about one time because Abby was posting something, and it had to do with the stream she was going to do.
Yeah.
Because her and her brother like to stream stuff on Twitch, and some dude started making comments about it, and I just gave it a laughing reaction, and pretty much went on with my day. Then I see her and this guy going back and forth. So, and obviously I'm not just gonna let anybody talk to Abby like that. So,
yeah, I know, of course.
Yeah. So I'm like, fuck, now I gotta get involved in this.
Yeah, it's the worst when you get involved with somebody on Facebook over a comment that keeps rolling, and it's never ending. That's why I
was just like, I feel bad for you.
Yeah.
And I just left it at that.
Yeah, just comments that people driving. That's why. When anybody tries to friend me up and I don't know them or never met them, I delete them out. Or anything says on the face. I mean, and I have actually by doing that philosophy, I have saved myself a tremendous amount of headaches. Because I'm wasting. One thing about the way I look at life is that time is precious, so you can never get it back, and you cannot. You need downtime, but you cannot waste time. Okay, right. There's always something to do. There's always something to do. That's why I don't play video games because I don't have. If I'm doing that, I should be doing something else. Even though I do like video games, I actually set up my Wii to start playing a little more Call of Duty. But meanwhile, I'm down there in my basement working.
Headmaster / Twitch streamer.
Yes, yeah. They call it how the kids just watch YouTube, all these things. My nephew baffles my mind. Like I can't get it. Like I said, I finally hit the generational gap.
That is my downtime.
Watching Twitch and stuff.
The heck? Ruben, you trying to land a sidekick on somebody?
You okay over there?
You trying to break boards? We're breaking bread and you
Ruben,
break boards.
You can't do the roundhouse kick, buddy. It's all right. It's one day.
I think he tried to do a split.
He tried to do a split.
That was secretly his spleen.
No, if he
going.
actually tried doing a split, we'd be having an ambulance probably here. Yeah, like he's sitting there in this match and he can't move his hips, whatever it was.
Like why his leg on one side and the other hip on the other side?
Yeah, it's crazy.
What's happening here?
I don't know.
I think I heard Gino crying. He might have fallen too.
No, it's just definitely one.
I don't know.
I can hear the laugh.
I don't know. His face is pretty red. He looks like he's in pain. I mean, I could see you by this point, but I'm just going to let everybody know you're crying.
For everybody in the audience, the chair probably fell out from underneath him, right, Ruben?
That was exactly what happened.
Yeah, we know that.
I just watched that happen. It looked like it was in slow motion. God, that might have even been worse than you trying to start the show.
Yeah. Sorry, everybody, on that one. That was crazy.
I just heard a big-ass thud. I was like, what is going on?
Yeah, it's crazy stuff, man.
What are you guys drinking in there, man? I'm pretty sure he's got a Long Island out here. What are you trying to mix
Oh, no,
together?
I'm not making it. This is water, everybody. It's just definitely not drinking. I didn't drive an hour to have an LA. So I didn't drive home.
Oh, boy.
But, no, it's been, like I said, there's been a lot of good stuff going on here. Oh, yeah, so let's talk about, so you have a big wedding day coming up, you said?
I do, man. November 26th.
So where are you doing
I'm excited. We're going to Ramblewood Country Club in Mount Laurel.
Okay, nice.
Yeah. No, she's excited. We already saw.
That's funny how you said.
That's
funny how you said she's excited.
Well, I mean,
I'm just kidding.
That's the one that matters for the wedding.
Yes.
I'm not the one who matters.
Yes.
You know, because we actually went to get my tux, and
Okay.
she kept trying to ask me for stuff. I was like, "Are you good with this?"
Yeah. Well, I had the same thing with Kelly with my suit, like my blue suit you saw me on.
Yeah.
She's like, I wanted to.
Are you the
She
one?
had to
who's good
come
with
to the
this?
store with me and my best man because we had a decision, and I was texting the pictures, and they weren't coming out right. So I'm like, forget it, just come here.
Yeah.
Figure it out. I mean, so then she came in, and actually, it was messed up. We walked into one store because I was going to go to Men's Warehouse. Went to one store. It looked like the place. I said, no, this is a different place in the Rockaway Mall. Went to the Men's Warehouse instead. Went over there, and then went back to the store I walked in originally. I could have cut myself out an hour at a time. It just was stayed at the freaking place I went the first time. And then he had, but we found the suit and everything. But yeah, you got your tux all set up, and you're like,
Yeah. No.
now,
Just
is it a
got it
different
set
kind.
up.
Now, is it a freaky tux or is it a black tux? What are you doing?
So it's gray.
Okay, great tux.
The guys got orange ties going on because
Okay.
they're doing orange and charcoal gray. Those
Nice,
are the
sharp.
colors Abby picked out.
Okay.
So I got the gray tux going on. My tie is white though.
Okay.
You know, distinguish me from the rest.
Of course, you have to. Yeah, we
Yeah.
had the different things like the handkerchief compared to, and the ties were.
Oh yeah.
So, we had to
So
do-
that's what we changed up for me.
okay.
And yeah, the rest of them got the orange ties. They're going to be matching the girls. So,
Nice.
yeah, we just got that set up yesterday. Trying to make sure everybody goes to the same place so I get my suit for free.
Well, that's the way it works. You
Yeah.
know, I didn't have that, but like it kind of worked out. But got like a $500 suit for like $250. It was like
that's
it
amazing.
was awesome. Yeah, and it's like I got a suit that I was gonna wear again. Yeah, I'm
not
not buying
gonna-
a suit one time for one thing. It was like something that I could wear consistently over and over again. So I
Yeah.
mean, we picked a color that was not because I could wear it over and over again, but I wanted a suit that was a sharp, dark blue kind of mesh and it's the shirt that I would wear again. You know, like
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, but no, that might honestly be a place that I use. You know, if I ever need like a suit or something like that.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, definitely.
I could see that being a place that I use for that.
Oh yeah, man.
100%.
Well, yeah, definitely with that. And then what was I gonna say? Like, so it was the country club. It's like a traditional golf course kind of golf.
Yeah, golf course kind of thing.
Nice.
You know,
how's the food? Hopefully it's good, man, because that's gonna make your wedding. You know.
I haven't tried anything yet, although I think I am going to like try like cakes and stuff a little
Well,
bit
yeah, you got
closer
the food tasting. Like when Kelly and I did, we picked the venue, which was the boat, which was amazing. Over New
Yeah,
York
no,
City.
that's
Dude,
cool,
Yeah,
man.
it was an amazing time. And now you saw the pictures from them. They had the food tasting was great. So you make.
Although I'm hoping nobody fell over the edge at the reception.
No. Yeah. Well, the good thing is like they made sure there's no shots at this thing, so they got and it actually went really quick. Not because like a day went quick. It was just a great consistency. The food was fantastic. We had a great like serving stations.
Nice.
The steak and the mashed potatoes. Even the cocktail hour was right. And then the view from up top. The New York City. So a lot of people people are like, oh, were you drunk at your wedding? I'm like, not even. I had like 3 drinks for the whole wedding, and then the fact that it was warm out, like a great perfect September day, but it was like 80. So we weren't sweating. That wasn't that kind of hot day.
Yeah.
But once you went downstairs, the air conditioning was in the first 2 floors of the yacht. The middle one had where you had to open the windows. Yeah. So it was still with the lights and everything. So it was still warm. So, I mean, it was just sweating out. I didn't really drink and have like any kind of thing till I got back to the hotel.
You would have had 10 and you'd be sweating it out.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
It wouldn't even really matter.
Yeah.
Because I had a friend of mine, two close friends of mine. They got married maybe like a week before you guys did.
Okay.
And we were at their wedding, and oh man, I was drinking all night long. I wasn't like you at all. I was drinking the entire night, and
Oh, but you were at the wedding. You should.
I was drunk, expecting to feel completely awful the next day. Right. I was expecting it. Not even want to check out. I was expected to be lying there. I was expected to be doubled over on the way out. And I was perfectly fine because I was sweating everything out.
Yeah.
Throughout the whole reception. I didn't drink at the after party because I had so many by then.
Oh, yeah.
I tried to get.
I had a few of my friends at my wedding that were like that, but they still kept going. I don't care.
Because I was trying to get Abby to come up to the after party with me, and I had so many that I was like, you know what? I'll stop if you come with me.
I had a few of my family members on gummies.
Oh.
We
got gummies here, too. No.
My one brother-in-law goes like, you want a gummy? I go, no, I don't want a gummy. I don't know how it's going to hit me, too. It's like 12 o'clock at night. I don't want a gummy.
I would have taken that gummy. You're a better man than I am.
I'm not a THC type of guy. I mean, especially with the gummy side, I've had it over, but it has to be like where I know nothing. I'm not taking one at 12 o'clock at night where from something I don't know what's in it. Right. I want to remember. I don't want to be like, oh my God, what happened last night?
12 o'clock at night. I just sweated everything out.
Yeah, I mean, I want to have some booze now. So we went back to the hotel. We started drinking and had some fun with our friends. We're out in the back of the hotel. Like they let us keep the thing. We went all the way to closing, and people had beer and stuff and everything else. We drank until like 4 o'clock in the morning, and then went to bed and woke up and we had a late checkout and we just got out. It was.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah,
I forget what we were singing. We were singing something maybe till like the bar was closing at like 1 in the morning.
Yeah.
There was just like one song because we were letting everything play, and then one song was on loop that was like on the way out.
Oh yeah, that's definitely that's funny stuff.
And after that, I watched a little bit of football because there was a game on that night, and then I just went to sleep.
And we had a great time for my way. It was great. It was that the Giants won, Jets won, Yankees won, all on the same day. So it was
that doesn't happen.
I think the Mets day too. I think the Mets won too.
Yeah, that doesn't happen.
Yeah, so it was a great.
Three out of those 4 teams. That doesn't happen a lot.
No. I mean, yeah, really.
Yankees, you got a decent chance. The other 3.
I mean, the Mets were like clipping, but everybody won that day. It was like a great blessing in disguise. God gave me a great day and stuff. Like I kind of had amazing experience and stuff with stuff. So yeah, so married life is good. Like it said, like I always say, it's like same stuff, different day.
It is
kind of thing.
It is the same thing, different day.
Because like if you're living with somebody, the routine's still the same, everything stuff. You just like got the marriage type of it, but there's more aspects to go like this. So I have a few jokes that I'm going to do on stage regarding being married, like what to say. I'm not going to tell them on this one because I'm not letting this out of bag so some other comedian could say it. It's going to be my stuff, dude. But it'd be. It's a good, true blend of what everyone can relate to, and I think that's what it's all about with comedy is about the relatability. And one thing I've learned through us doing this thing for, I would say consistently for about like a good 4 or 5 years before COVID hit, and then after it, and then now to be able to come back into it. But like I said, people are like, well, do you miss it? I go, of course I miss the shows. I mean, like I'm not crazy not to, but there's bigger things. But I get my humor in the class every day. So there's the jokes are being told. It's just a different format. It's not like a setup, but it's more like just the laughter I get from the kids and adults and everything else. And even parents that are watching me teach these kids. Crack it. I said, like I joked one time where I made a comment to this kid. This kid Hector has gorilla hands, dude.
Oh,
big
man.
monster. He's 12 now, but he was 10, and he's punching
always
the
had big hands?
He's punching the bag, bro. It's soft, like poof, boom, weak hands and stuff. And I look at him and I go, you punched like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. Now, this kid doesn't know what the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man is from Ghostbusters, but he knows what a marshmallow is, and he got the message, and he came back and started pounding. Now, this kid now is 12, long legs, Dominican kid.
Hands
popping.
swollen up.
Oh, big, dude. I mean, he's gorilla. I'm like, Hector, you don't, he's a sweet kid. He's got the eternal sweet soul. And I said, Hector, I'm going to turn you into a machine, dude. I said, you're going to be a Hector Rector machine. Yeah, wrecking machine. I was
Hector
like,
the Rector.
yeah, wrecked it.
New Wreck-It Ralph over
Wreck-It
here.
Ralph. Yeah, he has that. That's the ability of this kid. And once he gets
Wreck-It Ralph with the body of Big Hero 6.
Yeah. No, he's not that. He's not that with that. He's some quality students I have, and I can't wait to see it. The guys I have now, I can't wait to unleash into this tournament scene. I really can't. They're gonna all place, at least God willing, but they're ready. I didn't want to send them to the tournament my first year I was teaching because I didn't think they were ready. But now these kids are ready.
Yeah.
They're fighting the way I want them to fight. They have the intensity. Their blocking is really good. Their kicks are good. Their combinations are good. They're able to see and move and stuff. And we'll see what happens. There's going to be a tournament sometime. Probably the fall of this year. It looks like we're going to have a tournament.
Oh,
and
yeah?
Yeah. I can't wait to
Nice.
see how the trophies come for these kids because they always add up my trophies in the mantle place. And
Right.
They're like, oh, how many you have, sir? I said, it's about 24.
Enough.
24. And like the other 3 are from the other instructor. And where's the biggest one? That one. What'd you get it for? Grandmaster Joe gave me that one for taking over his school. He gave me that big trophy for being a third master in 40 years to run this place. And that is a huge, humbling, amazing. Like I said, I couldn't have asked, saw it, going to Taekwondo back in the day. Like when you went, would you think when you were in there going, oh, I'm going to run this place?
No.
You don't think that. You just think I'm going to get to the next belt. I just want to get to this and that. I mean, I never could imagine getting to where
One step at a time, man.
Yeah, it's definitely
That's all
that
it
kind of
is.
stuff, man. So we out of time. Is that kind of where we're at now? I think we hit an hour, right?
Hey, Ruben, you didn't fall again, did you? He might have fallen asleep.
All right, so we're good. We're done. That kind of thing. Is that how it works?
He's trying to tuck and roll.
Yeah, trying to.
You already got the show started late for him.
Yeah. So we started at what,
Come on,
7:30?
Probably before that.
Yeah, 7:30 time range.
Well, we were on the whole time for after 7:30.
Yeah, no, exactly for that.
Nah, but I got to tell you, man, I enjoyed listening to you talk about Quan.
Appreciate it.
I enjoyed listening to you talk about Taekwondo, especially the whole Taekwondo part. 'Cause it's been a while since I've been able to talk.
Yeah, I mean,
about
especially about that with anybody because you're part of it. So for people in the audience, people want to know what Quan means. Quan
This
means.
is why I need a proud Taekwondo student shirt so I can
There.
take home a participation trophy.
Well, we can get that. You can get a. I'll get you. I got to put that. We were talking on the Quan Shopify store, T-shirt store. Maybe I could create that one. But Quan in Korean means family. So you're part of Quan, bro. So I appreciate that.
You know what?
Always.
Do it again. Dude, that means a lot. Thank you.
Definitely up. Always, man. Well, thank you for having me on. It's been an honor, John.
I appreciate you,
All
man.
right. Peace out, everybody.
Solo out.